Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is light, shadow and reflection, we were talking about the mirror, and we have seen the types of the images formed by the mirror, as well as we have also looked at what happens if suppose we are standing in front of a plain mirror. So what kind of an image will be formed? Okay. Now we have seen there one thing, that if suppose we are standing in front of a plain mirror, so the image which is formed here, it will be a virtual image. Why virtual image? Because as long as you are standing in front of the plain mirror, your image will be there in the plain mirror. But as you will move aside, what will happen? The image will be, there will be no image. So this is what you do not obtain it on the screen, but it's supposed, it seems that it is there on the screen, or it is present behind to that of the mirror. So basically there is no such intersection occur on the screen, but it seems that due to the intersection somewhere occur behind to that of the mirror, formation of the image occur. Now we have seen here that if you look at the image, you will find that the size of the image is similar or is same as that of the size of the object. It will never be too enlarged or diminished. Okay. So if suppose you have taken a box or a tiffin and you will look at the plain mirror, it will not supposed to be very big one or a very small. It is as such as you have, as the size of the object will be there. We are talking here about a plain mirror. Now the second thing that we have seen, that if you are moving close to that of the plain mirror, then the image will also come closer to that of the plain mirror. What does that mean? It means that the distance of the object from the mirror, it will be same that of the mirror to that of the image formed. As you come closer, the distance will also come closer. It means the image will also come closer to that of the mirror. And if you go far, then the image will also seems to be moving far. Now if suppose you will raise your left hand, and if you look at the plain mirror, what you will observe, you will find that it's supposed to be, the image is raising its right hand. And not only this, if suppose you have taken an object that is at the left side, it seems to be at the right side. So what does that mean? That whatever will be the object kept at the left side, it seems to be at the right side. And if it is kept at the right side, it seems to be at the left side. So this is what? It is the object is laterally reversed. And this property we call it as a lateral inversion. So these are some of the things that we can see if we were standing in front of the plain mirror. And this made us to conclude that this is what, these are some characteristics of a plain mirror. So the first characteristics that we can see here, student, that the plain mirror is what? It will always form the image that is virtual. It is unreal. Okay. So why it is virtual? Because we are not able to obtain it on the screen. That is why it is unreal or virtual. Now the second thing is here, students, that the image is formed here. It is of the same size. So we can say that the size of the image is same as the size of the object. It is not enlarged or diminished. Okay, not enlarged or diminished. As well as the image formed in the plain mirror is at the same distance behind the mirror as the object in front of the mirror. So let us move on and continue with the characteristics of the plain mirror. So moving on and seeing the next characteristic of the plain mirror is, that is, the image formed is erect. The image formed is erected. It means it is at the same side of the object. It is same side of the object. So the image formed by the plane mirror is erect and it is at the same side up to that of the object. You will never find that the image formed in the plane mirror is just upside down. You will always find that as you are standing, you will find the same image on the plane mirror. So it is erect, seedha. Then the next one is that the image formed is laterally inverted. Laterally inverted. Okay, the image formed is laterally inverted, or we can say sideways reversed. Sideways reversed. Okay, with what? With respect to the object. With respect to the object. So these are some of the characteristics of the plane mirror, student, that we have seen. So in exam, student, this is very important to learn the characteristics, because many times the question will be asked that what are the different characteristics of the plane mirror. So you have to write all these things in different points. So we have understood that what is a plane mirror, what are the different characteristics of the plane mirror. Now the question arises that what is the use of the plane mirror? So let us moving on and see the uses of the plane mirror. Uses of the plane mirror. So if we look at the first use, so you will say that the first use will be, ma'am, that we are using at a home. Absolutely. You can see that the plane mirror are used as home to view ourselves. Okay, to look at ourselves in the mirror or to see anything. What do you do? We used to use the plane mirror. So we can say that the first use is that it is used at our homes to view ourselves. View ourselves. So it is used at home to view ourselves. Now the second thing, that this plane mirror is also used in making a lot of instruments. Like what, student? Like periscope. I will tell you, we will discuss about the periscope just after this. But the plane mirror used in that of the, even it is used in the kaleidoscope or even it is used in the periscope. So we can use that, it is also used in different kind of instruments. Okay, so plane mirror is also used in making periscope. In making periscope. That is making periscope. Now, it is also fixed in the certain walls of the shops to makes the shop to look bigger. Okay, so it is fixed in certain walls of the shop, certain walls of the shop to make the shop looks bigger. Makes the shop looks bigger. Okay, so these are what students, these are some of the uses of the plane mirror. Okay, so we have seen the characteristics and we have seen the uses of the plane mirror. Now moving on and see the other thing about the mirror itself. It means what kind of instrument that we are able to make with the help of a plane mirror. So you see a kind of instrument is there which is called as periscope. So periscope is an instrument which is used to see anything, which is used to see a thing which is kept at a higher level. And it can be seen with the help of the reflection method, and to see the image or to see the particular object's image or to carry out the process of the reflection, ultimately we will going to use the plane mirror. So we can say that the plane mirror will be used in this instrument that is called as periscope. Okay, so moving on and see periscope. So periscope is what, student? It is a device which gives us the higher view than a normal one. Okay, now if we want to see which is the object which is kept at the other side or at the higher side, which we cannot see that, so with the help of the periscope we are able to see. We will discuss, we will understand the concept of the periscope when we will move to the uses and then we will be understanding more clearly. Till that, let me tell you that periscope is a device which is used to see the image which is kept at a little bit higher, or we can say it is helpful to view, which gives us the higher view than that of the normal. So it is a device which gives us higher view than normal. Higher view than normal. Uses. Now where we are going to use the periscope? So the first thing we can use it, that if suppose anything is kept at a higher wall or to the other side of the wall also, so we are able to see with the help of the periscope. So we can write it that with the help of periscope, we can see the object on the other side, the object on the other side of the wall, other side of a wall or a high wall, on the high wall, without having to climb over the okay. So this is the first use of the periscope, students, that with the help of the periscope we are able to see any object. Which object? That object which has been kept at the other side of the high wall and without climbing over that of the wall. So we are able to see it without climbing over the wall. Okay. Now the next use of the periscope is That is, the second use of the periscope is we can see over the head. We can see over the head, over the heads of crowd. We are able to see over the heads of the crowd also. Obviously, we are using the periscope to see the things which is little bit higher than that of the normal. So, if it is used to see the object which has been kept at the other side of the wall which is higher, so obviously it will be used to see over the head of the crowd also. Now, a soldier who is sitting in a trench, okay, can even observe the activity of the enemy who is above the ground with the help of the periscope. Okay. So this is the next use of the periscope. That is, a soldier sitting in a trench, can observe the activities of enemy above the ground with the help of periscope. Okay, so we can say that the soldier who is sitting in the trench can observe the activity of the enemies who is above the ground with the help of the periscope. Now, not only this, if a person is sitting in a submarine also and want to see that what kind of activities or what kind of the things which going on over that of the sea surface, he can also see that one with the help of the periscope. Okay, so we can also write it that a person sitting in a submarine, can see over the surface of the sea, even though the submarine is what? It is under the water. Okay? Even though the submarines itself submerged in the water. Submarine is submerged itself in the water. So you can understand here, students, that these are some of the uses of the periscope that we have understood. The first one, student, that if suppose if you are sitting at the place and you want to see the things which is kept at the other side at the higher wall, you can see it with the help of the periscope. The second thing that we have understood here, that if we want to see over the head of the crowd, we are able to see with the help of the periscope. The third thing is that if a soldier is sitting in a trench and want to see that what kind of activities is going on above the ground through that of the enemies, so he or she can able to see it with the help of the periscope. Lastly, not the least, but it is that if a person is sitting in a submarine, so you see the submarine is what? It remains submerged in the water. So if a person sitting in the submarine want to see the activities going over to that of the surface of the sea, can see it with the help of the periscope. Okay, so these are the some of the uses of the periscope. Now moving on, and let us see that what is the construction and working of the periscope. Okay. Okay, construction and working of periscope. Construction and working of periscope. So basically the first thing is there that a periscope consisting of a long tube having two plane mirror fitted at each end. Okay, so you will see students, it will be like this only. Okay, so when you look at this, the plane mirror is aligned at this side, here, and here it is like this side. Okay, it is at this side. Okay, so basically it is kept at the two corner and it consisting of a two long tube is there, students. Okay, now let me write it, the first point of that of the periscope, and that is, the first thing is a periscope consists of long tube, consists of a long tube having two plane mirror, having two plane mirrors fitted at its two ends. Fitted at its two ends. Fitted at its two ends. Now the plane mirror have adjusted themselves in such a way that they are parallel to each other. So it means even at the first one, if it is like it kept like that, the second one will also kept be like that only, students. So that it will be what? It will be a parallel to each other in that of the mirror. Okay. So we can write it that the plane mirror are kept in such a way. The plane mirror is kept in such a way that they remain parallel to each other. That they are parallel to one another. What about how we were going to kept it in the tube itself? So each plane mirror should be kept to the side of the tube at an angle of 45 degree. Okay, and in the periscope you will find that there are the two holes. One hole is in the front of the top mirror and the another hole is there which is present at the below of the or at the bottom of the mirror. So one hole will be there from which you can see the source of a light, from which the light will comes to from the object to the plane mirror. It will get reflected from here, goes to the downward direction, and there the another plane mirror is there and it will again get reflected and reaches to the observer. So we can write the third one here, that the two plane mirror kept at an angle of 45 to the end of the tubes. Okay, and finally there are two holes in the periscope. Two holes are there in the periscope. One hole is at the front of the mirror. And other hole is at the bottom of the mirror. Other hole is at the bottom of the. So this is the basic construction of that of the periscope, we can say, students. So consisting of a long tube having two plane mirror. The two plane mirror should be parallel to one another, but when we kept it in the tube, it should be at an angle of a 45 degree. Now in the periscope, there are two holes. One hole is there which is at the front, through which the light used to come to the plane mirror, and finally it will get reflected to the other mirror, and thus the observer can see that. Okay. And the other hole, obviously it is at the bottom of the mirror, from where the observer can see the image. Okay, now how it used to work? So we can say here that basically what happened. So this is about the construction, and the working itself explain a lot of things, students. So if suppose this is that of the periscope, if we have kept one plane mirror here and one plane mirror here. So what happened if suppose if we talk about the periscope itself, so the upper hole is what? It is turned to be the, and an object is kept here. If it is a tree, students. So from here the source of a light will be there, students. The source of the light will be a sun itself, and here eye is there. So it will be like that of the. It will be that of the eye. Okay. So you see, observer, we can say. So you see that from here, if light will come to this side, first of all the light will enter from this side and reaches to the first plane mirror. Okay, students. And from here, it will get reflected back to the another mirror, and finally, which is kept at an angle of a 45 degree, but they are parallel to one another, and finally it will enter into the observer's eye. Finally, it will going to enter into that of the, from here it will get again reflected from the plane mirror and enter into the observer's eye. So this basically happens. So if the observer is at the ground, under that of the ground or under that of the water, so what will happen? It will raise that of the periscope, and finally you can see this is the water, and if you want to see the what is going on over the surface of the water, so he or she is able to see it by the if a ship is there or anything is there or fish is there, it's just floating on the surface, or anything is floating, or anything which is going on, the enemy activity is going on the surface of that of the water or on the ground, the person is able to see that by the help of the periscope, so the source of the light will enter through it, reaches to the plane mirror, finally to that of the other plane mirror and reflected back and to that of the observer eye. So a person is able to see that of the image of the object with the help of the periscope. So this is all about that of the periscope, students. Construction is working and finally its uses also.